Good morning, students. So we are doing your chapter number 4 of 11th class, that is chemical bonding and molecular structure. In this session, we will be starting with a new theory which is called valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. We know that Lewis structures help us to form the different covalent and the ionic bonds. But the Lewis structures cannot predict the shape of any molecule. This theory gives a simple method to predict the shape and geometry of covalent molecules. So this theory will help us to know the exact shape or the geometry of the covalent molecules. This theory was originally given by Sedgwick and Powell in 1940, but later on it was developed by Nyholm and Gillespie. And after it was developed by them, this theory became very famous. And it is a very simple theory to determine the shapes of different molecules. Initially, starting with it, we will be doing the different postulates, the important postulates of this theory. The first postulate is the shape of a molecule depends upon the number of valence shell electron pair on the central atom of a molecule. Again, I am repeating, shape of a molecule is determined by the number of electron pairs. Electron pairs, which electron pairs? Bonded or non-bonded. Non-bonded means lone pair of electrons. In the valence shell of central atom. In the valence shell of central atom. We have to only consider central atom. So it depends upon the number of electron pairs. Bonded, that means bond pair of electrons. Non-bonded means lone pair of electrons, which are present in the valence shell, that is the outermost shell of the central atom. These electron pairs, bonded and non-bonded, these electron pairs repel each other, which are present in the valence shell. Repel each other, why? Because their electron clouds are negatively charged. So same charge, similar charges repel each other, are negatively charged. So obviously they repel each other. When they repel each other, the electron pairs, bonded and non-bonded, try to orient themselves in space such that there is minimum repulsion between them and the maximum distance. Because far they are, less will be the repulsion. So what they say, the electron pairs in valence shell orient themselves in such a way that there is minimum repulsion between them, and that is possible only if they maximize the distance between each other. Between them, and the distance between them is maximized. The farther away they are from each other, the less will be the repulsion. Less the repulsion, more will be the stability. So whatever in the valence shell electron pairs are present, they repel each other in such a way that there is maximum distance between them, repulsion is minimum. Repulsion is minimum means stability is maximum. Now, we can consider the valence shell as a sphere. So you don't consider it as a circle, you consider it as a sphere, ball. The electron pairs are present on these balls. They may be bonded or they may be non-bonded. Like this. So they are present on the surface of the ball. So they will try to orient themselves at maximum distance on the ball. They will not fly away like this. They are going away. They have to be present on the sphere only. Three-dimensional sphere. But at maximum distance from each other on the sphere. The valence shell is considered as a sphere in which electron pairs, bonded and non-bonded, are oriented at maximum distance. Oriented at maximum distance. Another thing, if a molecule has a double bond or a triple bond, that means a multiple bond. Suppose I say carbon dioxide, I know that it is a double bond, it is a double bond. The double bond or triple bond is considered as a single electron pair. Again I am repeating, double or triple bond will be counted. They are not single electron pairs, of course they are not. But according to the postulates of this theory, they will be considered or they will be counted as a single electron pair. If a molecule has double or triple bond, it is considered, we are only saying considered, as a single electron pair. Now, if more than one structure, resonance structure is possible for a molecule, if more than one resonance structure is possible for a molecule, then VSEPR is applicable to all the resonating structures. If more than one resonance structure is possible for a molecule, when we'll do the examples, I will be explaining it to you. VSEPR is applicable to all of them. The last postulate. Now I'm just writing the last postulate, rubbing the first one. The repulsive interactions between the electron pairs in valence shell of central atom increase in the order. There will be least repulsion between a bond pair and bond pair. This is bond pair repulsion. There will be more repulsion between bond pair and lone pair, and maximum repulsion between lone pair and lone pair. So this is the order in which the repulsive interactions increase. We know why. Lone pair means the pair which is present on a particular atom. It is not shared. For example, I will just take it. Water is an example. Water, oxygen has got these lone pairs. This is hydrogen. So you can see these are the lone pairs. They are present only on oxygen. So they occupy more space. Bond pair, it is present between hydrogen and oxygen. It occupies less space and it is farther from the oxygen. So these lone pairs will repel more. So maximum repulsion is between lone pair and lone pair. Why? Because they occupy the complete space near an atom. Bond pair, it is shared. So slightly they are at more distance. So repulsion is less. So lone pair, bond pair repulsion is less. and minimum repulsion is between bond pair and bond pair. So these are the various postulates. Now we are going to do the examples to predict the shape of the molecules. Now first of all, we will be doing the shape or geometries of the molecules in which the valence shell of the central atom has only got bond pair of electrons. They do not have lone pairs, they will only have bond pairs. And later on we will do with the examples in which the central atom has got both bond pairs and lone pairs. So first let us start with molecules in which central atom has only bond pairs in valence shell. They do not have a lone pair. Valence shell. Now we will be representing the central atom by the symbol A. We will be representing central atom by symbol A. And the surrounding atoms or the number of bond pairs will be represented by B. A represents the central atom and B represents number of bond pair of electrons, or you can say electrons, or you can say number of surrounding atoms. Surrounding atoms. So let us take the first example. I am first taking AB2 type of molecules. Now AB2 type of molecules, the central atom is A. In this, central atom is A. And there are two bond pairs. Now just pay attention to this. I consider there is a central atom, right? And these are the two bond pairs. They are attached to the central atom. They will be present on the center atom. So I consider center में ये atom है and these are the two bond pairs. Now they have to orient themselves at maximum distance so that repulsion is minimum. And how they can move? They can move like this. The two bond pairs. They can be like this, they can be placed like this, anything, whatever you like. 3 dimensions they can move. Now how I place them? That there is maximum distance and minimum repulsion. I cannot say maximum distance. They cannot fly away like this. No. Molecule will break. Bond pairs cannot go left and right. How they can move? They are attached to the central atom. They can move like this. So just see. This is the structure. This is the maximum angle which is possible between them. Maximum distance. If I place them like this, obviously they will come closer this side. Repulsion will be more. If I place it this side, the repulsion will be more. Like this, they come closer. The maximum possibility is this. They are placed in a linear arrangement. And the bond angle is 180 degree. This is it. AB2. What is the bond angle? 180 degree. What is the geometry? Geometry, or in this case you can call it shape also. The geometry and shape in this case is linear. And what is the bond angle? The angle between the bond pair of electrons is called bond angle. 180 degree. These are the bond pairs. Now let us take one example of it. BeF2. Beryllium. Beryllium has got how many electrons in the outermost shell? 2. We know the atomic number is 4. So configuration is 2, 2. So it has got 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Fluorine. Fluorine has got how many electrons in the outermost shell? 7. It needs 1 to complete the octet. This is another fluorine. It means 1 to complete the octet. It completes it, it completes it. Beryllium, central atom. Can you count how many bond pairs and lone pairs it has got? You can see beryllium has got no lone pairs. Only 2 bond pairs, 1 and 2. 2 bond pairs, that means its shape will be linear. bond angle will be equal to 180 degree. So this is the example of AB2 type of molecule, 180. This is AB2. We will do more examples. First we will do one example of all type and then we can do more examples. This is AB2. Now I come to the second one, AB3 type of molecules. Now AB3 type of molecules, how many bond pairs? 3. Now again I take up 3. I know how I can, in the center they are tied up. They cannot move like this, you know it. How they can move? They can move here, up, down, anyway. I have to arrange them at maximum distance from each other. Just see how they will be arranged. This. Can you see what is the arrangement? Triangular, if I join the signs, it is triangle. So I can call it triangular planar or trigonal planar. What will be the bond angle in this case? 120 degree. The bond angle will be 120 degree. Right? So let us make it. AB3, A, 3 bond pairs are there, and this is the maximum distance or the angle possible is 120 degree. What is the geometry and shape? It is called triangular planar or trigonal planar. Plane में है इसलिए planar. And what is the bond angle? 120 degree. Let us take with an example. I am taking the example BF3, boron trifluoride. So you know that the central atom will be boron. Boron, the atomic number is 5. So boron has 2-3 configuration, 3 in the outermost shell. It forms bond with 3 fluorines which have 7 electrons. So fluorine needs only 1 to complete the octet. They will share 1, it will share 1, it will share 1. And boron, can you count how many bond pairs are there in boron? 3 bond pairs. 3 bond pairs in boron. So what will be the geometry or shape? BF3. 120 degree. Trigonal planar. So this is the next one, AB3. Now we come to the third one. AB4 type of molecules. Now 4. I am taking 4 bond pairs are there. So let us see what has to be there. Now most commonly what we think, if there are 4, the most common arrangement that I get is this from the students. Right? If there are 4, this is the most common arrangement you make it. What is the bond angle? 90 degree. So this shape I can call it a square. Just turn it, you can join the ends, you will get square planar. But suppose I know that it is not necessarily 2-dimensional, it can be 3-dimensional. If I can think of any other geometry in which the bond angle is more than 90 degree, repulsion will be less. So actually it is not square. What it is, just see. This is it. This is the geometry. Can you see the geometry? Can you see bond angle is more than 190 degree? It is more than 190. And what is the, it is more than 90, sorry. And what is it? Here, this is the tetrahedral geometry. You can see 2 are pointing towards the viewer. 1 is at the back. And this one is tilted like this, not straight. Right? This geometry is called tetrahedral geometry. What is this geometry called? Tetrahedral geometry. And what is the bond angle? How we draw it? I'm drawing it on the board, so it has to be 2-dimensional. Edge, edge, edge and edge. This, oh, I'm just taking the example. I will take it later on. First I take with AB4. So AB4 will be like this. A, B, B, B and here it is B. This is at the back. And what is the bond angle? 109 degree 28 minutes. So it is more than 90 degree. So I think this is the better geometry. Repulsion will be less because bond angle is more. So what is the shape and geometry? Tetrahedral. And the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Let us take the example which I just shown you. The example is methane, CH4. You must have done it in 10th also that methane has got a tetrahedral geometry. Carbon, 4 electrons in the outermost shell. I'm just drawing the Lewis structure. I will draw the geometry there. So it will share one with this, one with this, one with this, and one with this. So you can see carbon will have 4 bond pairs. 4 bond pairs with the AB4 type of geometry. So AB4 type of geometry, it will be like this. CH4, hydrogen, 1 at the back. This hydrogen is at the back. H, this is pointing towards you, towards the viewer. And H in the same plane. Bond angle 109 degree 28 minutes. So this is your next example, that is AB4. Next one, AB5. AB5 type of molecules. Now how many bond pairs are there? 5. Let us see how they are arranged. AB5. You can see 3 are arranged at the corners of a triangle. You can see triangular planar. They are at an angle of 120 degree. And remaining 2, one is above the plane, another is below the plane. This is the geometry. 3 are at an angle of 120 degree. 1, 2, 3. The one above, it is forming an angle of 90 degree. The one below is forming an angle of 90 degree. What is this geometry called? Trigonal, 3, triangle, trigonal, and it is forming a pyramid above and down, bipyramidal. What is the geometry called? Trigonal bipyramidal. How we draw it in a 3-dimensional structure? A, 1, 2, 3. They are at the corners of a triangle, AB3. One is above the plane, another is below the plane. What is the angle? 120 degree. And which is this angle? 90 degree. This is 2 angles are possible. And what is the geometry called? Geometry is called trigonal bipyramidal, because there is one above and one below. Pyramidal. And what is the bond angle? 120 degree and 90 degree. 2 bond angles are there. Let us take an example of this. Obviously, central atom should have 5 bond pairs in this case. So let us take PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. I am first drawing the Lewis structure. Phosphorus has 5 electrons in the outermost shell. Chlorine 7, shares 1. So there are 5 chlorines, so you have to make 5 chlorines, and all the 5 chlorines will be sharing 1 electron with it. So now phosphorus will have how many electrons in the outermost shell? It will have 10, that means 5 bond pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bonds that will be formed. So how I represent PCl5? Same geometry, trigonal bipyramidal. 3 at the corners of a triangle, I show it with a dashed line. One is above the plane, another is below the plane. Bond angle 120 degree and also 90. This is your AB5 type of molecules. Next is AB6 type of molecules. AB6, 6 bond pairs. Now just see what are the 6 bond pairs, how they are. You can see 4 at the corners of a square, all 90 degree, 4. This is the 5th. What is the angle with it? 90. And this is the 6th one. I place it here. What is the angle with it? 90. All are 90 degree. I see it from any side. It will be same. It will be same 90 degree. I turn it anywhere. So all the bond angles are 90 degree. And this geometry is called octahedral. Now sometimes the children question, why octa? 6 ही तो bonds है, why not hexa? Octa. Just see one. If I join this is one side, these two. This is one side. If I join second side, third, 4 sides, and below also 4 sides, so it will have 8 sides. 8 sides means it will be octahedral. So how I draw it on the board? B at the corners of the square, they are all 90 degree. One B above the plane, another B below the plane. All the angles are 90 degree. So what is the geometry and shape? Octahedral. What it is? Octahedral. And what is the bond angle? 90 degree. If I make the example now, I expect you can make it yourself also. So let us just take the example SF6. Sulfur hexafluoride. Sulfur atomic number is 16, so configuration is 286. Sulfur has got 6 electrons in the outermost shell. I am first drawing the Lewis structure. Fluorine shares 1, fluorine shares 1, shares 1, shares 1, shares 1, shares 1. So you can see sulfur has got how many bond pairs? Sulfur has got 6 bond pairs, so it will have AB6. So how I will draw it? Same octahedral geometry. 4 at the corners of a square. I join by dashed lines so that I can see the geometry clearly. So all the angles are 90 degree. That is octahedral geometry. Now we come to the last type. Last type is AB7 type of molecules. AB7. Now 7 are here. Let me just show you the geometry and then we will do. Now in this case, 5 are arranged in the form of a pentagon. You can see I am holding 5. They are pentagon. Can you see pentagon? 1 will be above the plane. 5 in a pentagon. What will be the bond angle? 180 degree divided by 5. That is 72 degree. One is above the plane, another is below the plane. So what is the bond angle in all the cases? One above, below is 90 degree. And rest all the 5, 360. Complete circle, 360 divided by 5. That is 72. This is called pentagonal bipyramidal. What it is? Pentagonal bipyramidal. Let us just draw it. A 5 at the corners of a pentagon. So roughly we are just drawing a pentagon. These are 5 at the corners of a pentagon. This is pentagon. What is the bond angle? 72 degree. 1 above and 1 below the plane. They are at an angle of 90 degree. So what will be the geometry and shape? Pentagonal bipyramidal. Pentagonal bipyramidal. And what is the bond angle? 72 degree and 90 degree. Let us take the example of it. The example for it is IF7. IF7. Iodine heptafluoride. Iodine, it is a halogen, so it will have 7 electrons in the outermost shell. And all of them will form one bond with fluorine. 7 fluorines are there. So 7 single bonds with 7 fluorine, because fluorine requires only 1 electron to complete the octet. Of course, this we are doing the example, it is an example of expanded octet. We have done the exceptions to the octet rule. All this is expanded octet. And can you see iodine has got how many electron pairs in the outermost shell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electron pairs. So it will have pentagonal bipyramidal, just showing it the same way. 5 at the corners of a pentagon at an angle of 72 degree, 1 above and 1 below. That is an angle of 90. This we have done with the examples of all the molecules in which the central atom has only bond pairs in the valence shell. In the next session, we will do with the examples of molecules in which central atom has got both bond pairs and lone pairs. Thank you.